welcome. You're watching a brand new episode of The Cover, a show where we share with you a sneak peek into the latest Business Today magazine. And with me on the show, I have Sourav Majumdar, editor, Business Today, Nidhi Singhal, senior associate editor, BT Magazine, and special correspondent, Vidya S, BT Magazine also. Welcome, panelists, and great to have you all on this show. And now to reveal the first look of the new edition to all our viewers, I already have my copy right here, and you can see the MD and CEO of Axis Bank, Amitabh Chaudhry, right there on the cover. It's a very interesting cover. We will talk about the cover, the design, everything. So let me come to you, Saurav, first. Before we dive into the cover story, what it has for all our viewers, really, give us a sense of behind making the issue, the design of the issue. Tell us, the readers, how are they looking at this new look and feel?
Thank you, Sakshi. Of course, it's great to be back on the show. Essentially, when we looked at the cover story on Axis Bank, it was quite an important story to do because you will remember that only recently the bank has acquired the Citibank's India business in terms of the consumer business. And
Sure.
that was a big acquisition of about $1.6 billion. Though
Yes.
the speculation was that it could be a higher amount, but it became 1.6 billion, which also there was a lot of negotiation, and Kotak Bank was among the suitors, and Axis came out the winner. Now, having done that, we thought here is a new Axis, the new look bank which Amitabh Chaudhry is creating. He's hungry for more. He's even readying for even more acquisitions, and he's hungry for growth. So how do we project that on the? He's there. He is standing with his hands in a claw kind of a look,
Yes.
saying that, and it goes with the cover line, a challenger on the prowl. So I think overall, I'm getting pretty good feedback on the cover as well.
Absolutely. It's a very, very engaging cover right there as Amitabh Chaudhry gets all set to grab a bigger chunk of the banking pie. Now, you rightly said that the takeover of Citi India's retail banking operation hogged the limelight. But does that deal preferably reflect more than just Axis Bank's plan to expand its credit card and loan book?
Yes. It's a much bigger part. I mean, part of a much bigger plan. In fact, it's just reflective of the kind of ambition Axis Bank has, not just in the retail and consumer banking part of the business, but also overall. What has happened is now over the last 2-3 years, ever since we are aware of the kind of problems Axis Bank was facing on
Oh,
the
yes.
asset quality front earlier. And ever since Amitabh Chaudhry took charge in 2019, early part of 2019, he's been putting together a plan to sort of take the bank forward. And like he says in the story, his eyes are now set on, at least the number two position in terms of balance sheet size to start with. So he's been putting together this plan, including, going after top-rated corporates across the spectrum, getting a top management team together from various parts. It's a top-class portfolio franchise which he has got, and that will add a lot of value to him. But it's part of a larger plan, like you rightly said.
Will Citi bolster Axis Bank's fight in this battle of banks and to race to the top?
Yes, it's the quality of retail which is also, will be bolstered by the Citi acquisition because it's top-rated clients. These are
Yeah.
good portfolios. The credit card part of the business also will get a big boost. But like I said, overall, they are not just banking on the Citi acquisition, but there is a whole lot of things which the bank is doing to improve profitability, get cost of funds lower. But for now, they're really on the road to sort of capitalize on this acquisition and take it forward to the next level.
Nidhi, welcome to the show. Help me understand what all is covered under this special report on digital transformation first.
Right. Sakshi, so I'll explain it very simply. Digital transformation is not a new term if you come into the technology world. It has been there for last 2 decades, but it's the pandemic that pushed everybody to work from home and adopt these technologies to work. And interestingly, when we say it has been there for 2 years, it's now that the companies are realizing the value of data. So one of
Yeah.
the lead articles focus on how companies can leverage data for their own benefit and how it helps. If you'll ask me, it's more about getting more revenues and reaching out to the market faster. If I were to give you an example, when the pandemic hit and the country went into lockdown, Amul overnight realized that nobody was buying ice creams anymore. They had to overnight switch their supply chain to deliver curd and milk, and they
That's
did it
right.
overnight. So that is one. Another area that we're focusing on over here is when you talk about technology, there's this concept digital twin where you create a replica of anything physical that you have. It's like a
Yeah.
computer program where you feed in all the data and it processes that data. It uses technology and high-end algorithms, and it tells you, okay, what is the best outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. But are
It's
enterprises in India really leveraging data, is what I want to ask you.
so according to industry leaders, only 20% have realized the value of data. Rest 60% are still in the middle, and 20% they're still not onboarded the digital transformation journey yet.
Recently we've seen the World Economic Forum, and the basic point that everybody in the panel discussions talked about, how there is a revolution of reskilling happening across the world right now. What is the Indian government really doing here?
So Indian government is not focusing on reskilling, but what they are doing is they want each and every individual in the country who can contribute to the economy. They want them to be skilled in the particular area. So, and that is at this district level. It's not a common skill that will fit all. They are designing skills which are relevant to the local areas. They make sure that the youth of the country is skilled and they can apply. And they want them to skill, upskill, reskill, and train themselves into multiple skill for
Sure.
growth. For growth.
Yeah, right. Okay, Nidhi, thanks for that. Let me just move on to Vidya now. She's done a very fascinating story on Netflix. Vidya, help all our viewers understand what is Netflix' big challenge in India, really?
So Netflix, as you may know, is purely a content platform which operates on a subscriber-driven model, which means that unlike its rivals in India, Amazon Prime Video or Disney Hotstar, it doesn't have shopping or IPL cricket to keep users hooked. It relies entirely on its content catalog to get users to pay a monthly or an annual subscription fee to drive its revenue and in turn its profit. But what has happened is, with the severity of the pandemic waning, the company has lost 200,000 subscribers globally in the January March quarter, and according to its own guidance, it expects to lose another 2 million subscribers in the current quarter. So, but APAC region, which includes India, has however emerged a bright spot for the company, where it has actually managed to add 1.1 million subscribers. Now, of course, Netflix doesn't break out country-wise figures, but even assuming that a chunk of that is coming from India, it still doesn't take Netflix's current 5.5 million strong subscriber base anywhere close to Amazon's 19.7 or Disney Hotstar's 34.5 million subscribers in India. So, in a nutshell, Netflix is really struggling to add subscribers in India, which is a
Yeah.
large and an attractive market, given that it has more than 700 million smartphone
Yeah,
users.
but Vidya, help me understand, why is this difficult for Netflix to attract subscribers here?
Industry insiders and experts I have spoken to have pointed out that despite the price cut, it is really what the content strategy that they really have to work on, because they point out to me that Netflix has probably already amassed the subscriber pool that was realistically available to them given their Western flavor of programming. Now, if they need to amass more subscribers in India, they really have to look at how their content is working out. The revenue growth has only come along with an increase in expenditure, similar increase in expenditure, in fact, around 1,500 crores. So,
Yeah.
which means that there is no lacking of content investments, but somehow it doesn't seem to be working with them with the users. So, if you look at the
Got
profit
that.
margin, profit itself, that has grown very marginally from about
Sure.
8.8 crores to around 10 crores. So, that is really where the issue is for them. So, they really need to decide on what their content strategy is going to be like. Is Netflix going to be a premium niche brand in India, or is it going to be a mass market player?
Thank you so much, Vidya, for all that information. Saurav, let me come back to you. Help us sum up the entire issue for all our viewers and readers right here. What can they expect in this issue now?
I can tell you this is an issue worth reading for a couple of reasons. One, of course, is the Axis Bank story. And mind you, we've also taken note in a detailed story on the Axis mutual fund crisis, which is building up the
That's
whole
right.
allegation of front running, the actions which the regulator and the fund itself has taken. So it's not as if, Amitabh Chaudhry is short on challenges as well. So he'll have to look at that side as well. But apart from that, I think this digital transformation package we're very proud of, because it's an extremely well laid out package. Nidhi has done a fabulous job of that. across the spectrum of the entire digital transformation story. And then there is this very interesting story which we all were working on, and Vidya has put together so well, which is the Netflix crisis. Now, Netflix, I say the word crisis because I do believe that in the wake of severe competition, which the streaming giant is facing,
True.
and the recent loss of subscribers globally, I think India was supposed to be this one bright spot. And Reed Hastings himself has come out and said that it's been a frustrating experience, that it's not really working that well as they had expected in India. We don't know where the answer lies yet. Netflix will have to figure that out, and we'll be
Yes.
keeping a very close watch on what they're up to, of course.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Saurav, and thank you, panelists, for sharing with us and all our viewers great insights from this issue. It was great catching up with all of you as well, and to all the viewers, you can't miss this issue. And for the very engaging content that this has to offer, do go out on the stands and grab your copy soon.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.